Cathy, can you tell us, please, a little bit about your background, how you lost your hearing, and why you decided to have an implant, and what your experience has been?
Sure. I have no idea why I lost my hearing. No one's ever been able to tell me, but I have been progressively losing my hearing since I was probably 12 years old, and it steadily got worse and worse and worse. When I was at university, I trained as an engineer, and I got through that course by sitting in the front row of all the lecture theatres and by actively lip reading, and it got me through. My working career, I followed that same sort of philosophy. I didn't tend to be the one who wrote notes in meetings. I was the one who just sat there and gave you my undivided attention, which a lot of people thought was just me being very much into what was being said. It was me trying to read lips all the time. And unfortunately, my career got to a point where it was really going well, but it was being stopped by the fact that I needed to be able to participate in meetings where there were maybe 20 or 30 people, where the conversation swapped from one side of the room to the other, and I couldn't follow and I couldn't keep up. And so something had to give. I either had to pull back on what I was doing in my professional role, or I had to fix my hearing. I had the most powerful hearing aids that were available. They weren't cutting it. They just didn't help. In fact, they actually made things worse. I felt like I had earplugs in when I put those hearing aids in. And so I knew it was time to get the cochlear implant. I did one ear first, and it was brilliant. My rehab was really quick, and I think there's a lot of memory that comes into that. And I didn't have speech instantly, but when I got in the car after my first activation, I put the radio on just to see what music sounded like. And it wasn't like you would hear music, and it's not like I hear music now, but I could hear the modulation of the tones, and I knew that with time and with learning that music would come back. And it was probably that more than anything that brought tears to my eyes when I did this. And I found that after doing rehab for probably 2 months, 3 months, that I had really moved forward tremendously. And everyone that I spoke to who had a cochlear implant said, 1 is great and 2 is 10 times better. And they're right. I did the second year. Rehab was probably a little bit more forgotten on this one, because I had one ear that was functioning quite well and the other was just a bonus. But definitely hearing is 10 times better with 2 than it is with 1. It's given me back music, it's given me back social life, it's given me back my opportunities at work, and I can participate in life again.
Cathy, you're in a pretty high-powered job as a civil engineer. Did it make a difference to you in the workplace in terms of your confidence?
Absolutely. I had a team of staff who I was actually struggling to hear, and to be able to speak with them, to mentor them, and to help them develop as engineers. I couldn't do that when I couldn't hear what they were saying. And so it's allowed me to get back into that role of mentoring. It's allowed me to get back into advocating where I need to in meetings. And it's just made every bit of difference in my life.